DT really got a lot of people fired up on Twitter this afternoon after news came out of the teams that have qualified, obviously with Atletico Madrid beating Inter on penalties and also Borussia Dortmund winning their tie-up against PSV, I think it was. DT wanted to tell everybody to shut the fuck up if their club was not in the qualified list. As you're looking on screen right now, we have the teams of Arsenal FC, of course, Atletico Madrid, FC Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, and Real Madrid. And he says, and I quote as you're reading on screen now, if your club is not on this list, shut the fuck up. If you're playing on Thursdays, shut the fuck up. If you're watching Emmerdale on a Wednesday, shut the fuck up. If you can't even finish above Copenhagen, shut the fuck up. Now, of course, he's referencing those clubs who are nowhere on this list, if they've been eliminated or knocked out or whatever it is. If they're in the Europa League playing on Thursdays, they should not speak. If they're watching some TV show on Wednesdays, they should not speak. And if they're Manchester United, they should not speak. Well, copped a lot of flack on these tweets. Boy, did he cop a lot of quote tweets, replies, and everything else in between. And oddly enough, I did notice this. The only response he actually gave, as far as I can see, was to a female Spurs fan. Says, I think you may need another anger management course, buddy. And his response was, I'm fine and loving life. Social media is not real life. Thanks for your concern, though. Which, to an extent, I agree. Social media is not real life. But if you're going to say things on social media, they may then have real life consequences, or they could in turn alter a real life scenario, which I'm a little bit divided on. I think a lot of people should disengage from social media from time to time. It's actually better for your health if you don't constantly live online. I do think it's better for you. And if you are having some problems or struggling with shit, maybe you should take some time away from the internet, social media, and just go outside and touch grass, as they say. I don't mean that in a trolling, douchebaggy way. I actually mean that. Go outside, do some, activities in person, get some fresh air, all that sort of stuff. Don't constantly live online if you are struggling or finding it difficult. But some of these replies are amazing. Like, shout out to Nish. I've known Nish for many years. We used to do a Liverpool pod together as well a couple of years ago. So it's congrats on another participation award this year, because a lot of people, of course, are confident Arsenal not going to get anywhere. People saying, classy as always. If you've never won it, shut the fuck up. Is this sort of anger that landed you where you belong, DT? Because, of course, DT's got a bit of a history, if you didn't know. Has a bit of a checkered past. Has been arrested for some crimes. And a lot of people bring up the past crimes in this, Twitter response thread, whatever you want to call it. But you can clearly see a lot of people are really on his case when it comes to responses, shall we say. Not winning a trophy, shut up your mouth. Oh no, Mr. DT, I can't have any opinions as a football fan. Now I have to switch off my brain. Yeah, so because your team is not in there, you can't, you're not qualified to speak on it. If you've never been to jail, like this comment. Don't mind if I do. Yep, if you haven't won it, shut up, bitch. I like this tweet here. 27 UCL shared between all the quarterfinalists on the list, but not a single one of them belong to Arsenal, yet you have the audacity to be this arrogant just because you made the last 8. And this is where I'm going to say this year, a lot of Arsenal fans are humble. They just want to see their team do well. They want to see their team play and potentially give them some hope of winning a Champions League, which they very well still might do this season. Maybe not going to happen, but it's a possibility. In the quarterfinals, anything can happen. But some fans do take it too far. They'll say, bring us your Real Madrids. We can beat anybody. Give me a Bayern Munich. Give me your anyone in. Give me Atletico Madrid. I don't care. Just bring them on. We'll beat any single one of them. And to that I say, you barely scraped through a Porto team, which you should have won comfortably within 180 minutes. 90 minutes either which way, first leg and second leg. It should never have gone to extra time, let alone penalties. Okay? But it got to penalties for you guys to win your match. You should have beaten Porto. If you can't beat Porto within 90 minutes, and they were a well-organized team and they played their asses off, and they actually probably deserved something from that tie overall. If this was any other way, if it was a draw, they probably should have deserved a draw at least, but they didn't. They ended up losing on penalties, of course. However, if you really want to play against the big boys, the big teams, playing the way they played against Porto is, in my opinion, not going to do them any favors. Of course, they may completely change and will actually play well, in which case then we all hold our hands up and say, well, shit, we were wrong. Or you'll get people that'll make up excuses and say, but this, but that, and then shift goalposts here and there to try and make their cases seem a little bit more easy to digest. But I don't think that's entirely honest in that sense. Because you want to play against the big teams, you can get knocked out, and then what? A lot of Arsenal fans want to give it the big chest and give it these ones, the big ones with the fist pumps and all that sort of shit. Some Arsenal fans are more reserved, like, look, we were lucky, but we qualified. That's the main thing. We can't play the same way we did again against Porto, against any of the other teams, because if we do that, they've got better players, they're better organized. They could get us on a counter-attack or outplay us. But on the flip side, we're good at what we do, and we could beat them. We can do this and we can do that. But keeping grounded, I think, is a nice little way to go about things. Don't give it all that hot air and all that sort of shit, but that's just my take. That's my opinion on things. Because then you have to front and face the music. You have to front the panel when you're going to have cameras and microphones in front of your face, and they're going to say, so you said this was going to happen. What happened? And then you have to face the embarrassment of trying to defend your opinions, your takes, your thoughts, whatever it is that you said that didn't happen because your team got knocked out or whatever. And finally, just to say, DT, I don't really give two shits about him personally. All I care about is him as an online personality, and as an online personality, that to me reeks of this arrogance that a lot of people are saying, this is why we can't stand the Arsenal fan base, because you are the most unbearable of the bunch. You're in the quarterfinals and you're telling people with heritage, European football heritage, your Manchester United, who have won it 3 times, Chelsea and Nottingham Forest won it 2 times, Aston Villa, Man City won it once each, and of course the mighty kings of Europe, Liverpool FC, winning it 6 times. Just because we're in the Europa League now, don't mean we're not going to come back next season. Don't mean we're not going to come for number 7 next season, or at least try to get number 7 next season. Yeah? We are always there ready to go. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. Take it easy as they come. You never know what lies around the corner, and then you'll be complaining and wanting your manager sacked again when you don't win the Champions League, and potentially not winning the Premier League. That's all I'm going to say.
End the stream, Dave! End the stream! End it, blood! End it now!